Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Coach Access, your daily access with professional certified life coaches brought to you by Life Coach Philippines. Life Coach Philippines is our community of professional life coaches certified by the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs, a bona fide institute for mental health that is based in Texas, USA. And Life Coaching Access is our service to the community, and we aim to help individuals experience the process of transformation through the platform of life coaching. If you want to know more about our international coaching classes and services, please contact with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 for assistance. I am Coach Shaun for Inner Game, bringing out the in me. Your access with me is every Friday at 10 p.m. Thank you for joining me at this late hour on a Friday evening. Marami pong salamat for those who have been consistently joining me for the last four segments. For my segment today, I will share to you the four-way attitude test. The four-way attitude test. So please tag your friends in the comment below and invite them to join our conversations. Baka andyan pa sila, gising pa sila, patulog na sila. And maybe they want to learn something tonight before they go to sleep or they start the weekend. It's going to be a beautiful journey for today. And you may also share this FB Live to your timeline and FB groups and pages so that we can reach more people and help transform lives. So marami pong salamat for everyone who's joining. Thank you, Nords, Coach Tin. Marami pong salamat for joining me. And if you notice, when we started, di ba may intro music yung the Life Coach Access, and there's another music that you were hearing in the background. If you remember that music, if you can still remember it, put that in the comment section if you can still remember that music. Type in there kung ano yun. Ano ba yung narinig nyo? Okay, let's start. So let's be intentional. Let's be intentional tonight. Be intentional. Hashtag pack my bag moments, and hashtag pack my bag moments are moments where you have an aha moment, where you're able to listen to that and say, yun na yun. That is what I needed to hear for me to move forward with whatever I need to do with my life. And think about pack my bag moments when you are attending seminars, when you're attending trainings, and you go to that place, you go to that seminar, either in international, maybe it's local, somewhere in Palawan, maybe, those kinds of seminars. And eventually you found that moment, that conversation, that wisdom, that insight, or that teachings that the person was teaching you. Then you say, okay na ako, pwede na akong umuwi. But don't go home yet. We still have a lot of intervals or time for us to enjoy this night, and it's gonna be a powerful night. Na chill lang tayo. We're not too much of a thinking tonight. More of just helping you really identify what the four-way attitude test would do. So be intentional. Post that in your page once you're able to get your pack your bag moments. This is for us to be able to help other people. And during these times, we want to be able to fill the digital space with something that people can connect with, some people could learn, so that they can also start sharing that with other people. And I think that's the beautiful thing about all of the things that we do. And eventually, if we're able to share wisdom, we're able to share knowledge to other people, and we will be able to spread gratefulness, joy, and also good knowledge in the process. All right. So let me quickly introduce myself. I am Coach Shaun. I'm a professional life coach certified from the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs, which is based in Texas, USA. I help people with creating stability, clarity, consistency, and influence in their personal and professional life. We need for everyone, if you're a business leader, you want to be able to have stability with the work that you have, the business that you have, and also the relationship or the life that you have, and being able to merge them all together so that both can work in harmony. And clarity on the goals that you want to achieve. Maybe you have clear goals, but as far as chunking it little by little and making sure you're able to work on that as you progress as in the process in life, then that is something that I help with. I also help with consistency on the results that you have. Maybe you're someone who wants to level up the things that you're receiving on a regular basis. Maybe it's about your relationship, consistency with your relationship. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe it's your growth and your personal level. And I also help with influence. Every business leader wants to make an impact or wants to create that impact to the community or also the people that he leads or he or she leads, or also with the family and the children that will help them. Um, I've worked in corporate for 14 years. I've ended my career there as a director. Mostly, I've worked in the BPO industry. I've handled the planning, scheduling, and real-time management. So I'm purely more on analytics. That's where my core is on the BPO industry. And I've transitioned back in 2019 to go full-time as a certified life coach and focusing on the area of self-leadership. And self-leadership is our ability to be intentional on the things that we say or do and we think about. And that's what self leadership is all about, really talking about you. I've been married for 17 years, and my spouse is also a certified life coach. You would see her in the comment section, Coach Tin De Joya. We've been blessed with a daughter and a son, age 18 and 14, respectively. So let's just do a quick recap of what happened for the last three episode. On week one, I talk about the Kodak moments and talking about the two games that we play, the inner game and the outer game that we have. And the inner game talks about the meaning that we have in life, the awareness that we have, the beliefs that we have on certain situations, certain things, and the assumptions that we also have on specific situations, specific relationship, maybe other people. And that's what the Kodak moment is what are the moments that you would have that you instill in your mind and you utilize that on a daily basis. The second is, talking about Doraemon, the week two, the deconstruction of our beliefs. And our beliefs is where we use this as our judgment on how we take action and how we take action and utilize these results. And eventually, we can validate this on making it a belief that we have. So it's a circle that we have. It talks about what we believe in, the judgment that we would do based on that belief, and it's connected towards what action or in reaction that we will do or in action at times, then the result validating that the belief is true. And lastly, week three, we talk about Shrek, and Shrek talks about rebuilding the values foundation. And really, the gist with Shrek is going back to our values, going back to who we are, our original design. And if you think about it, our original design is we always have this heart for us to be able to help other people. We're not born bad. We're not born, we're not born bad. Growing up, right, you always want to be playing around with people. You don't have that fear. You're always going to be so expressive and explorative about all of the situation that's happening now because we want to understand what's happening in real life. And really, that's really the gist in it. When we were growing up, we like to explore. We would like to be able to understand things. We would like to know more about the things that you can see, you can touch, you can feel. And sometimes this is the reason why children have asked a lot of questions. But most of us adults don't like, asking these children asking questions kasi makukulit sila. And at times we spank them, we tell them that don't do that and so on, and which limits their abilities to really explore what's happening in the world right now. All right. So a while ago, if you were tuning in, you would be able to listen a music that we put in there for about 30 seconds after the intro of Life Coach Corner. And if you would remember that, if you still remember that music, what we tune in, what I played that, and you can watch that on a replay, that music is coming from this lady. You know this lady? If you know this lady, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. If you can also name the animal there. What's the name of the monkey in there? And This one, if you, it's the title is there. It's Dora the Explorer, and Dora the Explorer is an American animated television series created by Chris Gifford, and this one premiered, if you can still remember, premiered in Nickelodeon. So kung alam mo pa yung Nickelodeon TV, if you have that before, if you have cable and what have you, those are the things that's being shown as well in Nickelodeon. This was released on August 14, 2000. Yan, so matagal na siya. And the series was produced by Nickelodeon Animation Studio. And if you can remember, yes, thank you everyone for putting in your comments. Yes, it's Dora, Coach Lane, Dora the Explorer, and thank you all, Coach Marlon. Thank you for joining. Master Coach Jasmine, salamat po. Thank you for joining. You also have Coach Lynn and Coach Tricia, and maraming salamat. Thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. It's been a wonderful night, and I appreciate you taking some time with me and journeying with me towards exploring Dora the Explorer. And if you think about it, the series centers around Dora. Do you guys know the last name of Dora? Can you put up in the comment then what is the last name of Dora? Ayan, if you could put it there, put it in the comment section. What is the last name of Dora? And so Dora is a 7-year-old Latina girl with a love of embarking on quest related to an activity that she wants to partake of, a place that she wants to go to. And usually this is accompanied by, if you already put in there yon si Boots, the purple backpack. Kung nakikita mo ng backpack ngayon ni Dora, which is there's the backpack. And also an anthropomorphic monkey companion which is named Boots. And which the reason why he's called Boots is because of the red two boots, yeah, which you see in the screen. And each episode is based on around a series of cynical events that occur along the way during Dora's travel, along with a lot of obstacles, if you notice that. And Boots is also forced to overcome or these puzzles that they may solve in that game. So if you think about, di ba, naaalala niyo yung Dora the Explorer, mostly they really solve puzzles there. They understand ano ba talaga yung ginagawa, at yung laro na yon, you would see that they're trying to solve around a lot of things for them to be able to move forward. And if you can remember, right, yung mga character pa doon is the map, backpack, Boots, and Swiper. Yon. Sabi ni Coach Candy, si Marquez. Tama, Coach Candy, si Marquez nga. Sabi ni Coach Maureen, si Dora Lacuachera. Well, yes, Lacuachera nga siya. Pero hindi po yun yung last name niya. hindi yun yung last name niya. Yon. Thank you, Coach Rod. I would see you. Thank you, Coach Rod, for joining us tonight from Batch 44. Maraming salamat. Thank you for joining. So there, that is the last name of Dora, Dora Marquez, ang last name niya. And thank you very much for everyone who's joining there. And yan, si Dora the Explorer. And if you can think about it, ano ba usually yung ginagawa ni Dora? When you see her, what is she doing? What mostly is she doing as far as exploring the journey, exploring the challenge that's been given to her, and what are the things that she thinks about during the course of the journey. And tonight I'm talking about the 4-way attitude test, and we're gonna take a look at the attitude of Dora the Explorer, on how she do things. And sometimes you would be surprised how uncanny her attitude towards the missions and the journey that she has during the course of the cartoon. Sabi ni Coach Lynn, Dora Exploradora. Thank you, Coach. Yan, si Dora Marquez siya. Thank you. Very competitive yung mga tao na nanonood. Thank you very much for joining me. You're still alive and still joining me at this time. So let's talk about attitude first. Let's define why do attitude exist. Attitude exists because they serve human beings to determine a person's motive. Like for every one of you who's watching it right now, what's your motive of, joining Life Coach Corner, for example? What is your motive? If you think about that, if we start being intentional about the way we think as of the moment, what's your motivation for you joining or watching the videos from Cup Copy Republic or Life Coach Philippines? You sometimes you get busy, but you pause and really focus on that. And this one serves as a function, which is an activity or a purpose that a person has a natural unintended way of doing things. And that is attitude. Kumbaga, it's either natural to you, it's innate to you that you do those, you have that attitude specific to work, maybe specific to relationship, specific to a point of view that we have, or you're intentionally creating that attitude towards that motive that you have or that purpose that you have. So it's really talking about intention plus the natural. Parang it's a habit already that you are doing. Sabi ni Coach Kenny, tumutulong sa mga naliligaw. Ano mga tools na niya? Tama. Yung backpack gives all of the tools that he needs. Parang gusto ko bumarada sa sagot. And Coach Marlon said, babad sa Nickelodeon. Tama, Coach Marlon. Ako din, babad ako dati sa Nickelodeon. Yun lang pinapanood ko. Tapos may hawak ako ng soft drinks plus chips. I'm good. Yung mga times na yon. And Dora and her tools, sabi ni Nords, that directs everyone's concern kaya nasusolusyonan siya. Yes, that is true. And that's a beautiful thing if you think about the attitude of Dora, right? And connecting that to why attitude do exist is because it talks about the motive. If you take a look at how the cartoon goes, meron silang motivation on why Dora does what she does and how Boots supports Dora as they progress in the mission. And there are functions of attitudes. I'm going to share to you 4 functions of attitudes for us to understand bakit nga ba ganun nagiging attitude ni Dora the Explorer towards the mission or the goal that she has for every episode that you can think about, for every episode that you would hear about. A while ago, I was watching one episode of Dora because I'm trying to remember what she was doing throughout, and I still enjoy watching her. It's just so super simplistic, and you would be able to enjoy watching her. So the first function of the attitude is a utilitarian function. Nabululan ako. Utilitarian function or adjustment function. And this function revolves around or relates towards rewards and punishment. So nakikita nyo dyan, it's carrot and stick. O yung stick mukhang bat, pero that's stick. Carrot and stick approach where you focus on making sure that you get the reward and you avoid any punishment. So this is one function of the attitude that we have. The second is knowledge function. And this means knowledge coming from making sure that we are stable. I need to be stable towards any situation. Maybe the things that you need to share, maybe sa school, maybe you're in masteral, and so on, and you learning things. Like you right now joining me here today is part of knowledge and you learning things so that you can build stability in your life, also create order on the things that you do. Maybe there are some areas of your life that you want to be working on and create order on that. Or maybe it's a structure that you want to build, or maybe meaning on the things that you do in life. Like why do you do what you do in life? And that is where knowledge function comes in for you to understand why do I do what I do. The fourth is self-expressive function, and it talks about the individual values and self-concept, how you see yourself in situations, how you see on when in your relationships and so on. And this is where people would be able to express themselves. Like si Dora, if you think about Dora, di ba? Si Dora, yung damit niya kakaiba yung kulay, and that's the way she was able to express herself. And last but not the least, the ego defensive talks about how you can protect yourselves from any external threats or internal feelings. O, dalawa po yan. in external threats, any threats from someone, someone might be maligning you, someone might be telling you negative things and what so on and so forth. That's ego defensive. And also the internal feelings that you have, because at times, di ba, pag may nasabi yung ibang tao, nasasaktan agad tayo at masakit sa feelings at pakiramdam. So these are the four functions of the attitude. And if you reflect on it, reflecting on these four attitudes and thinking about the Dora the Explorer, when you're reflecting on the episodes that you watch, she does utilitarian functions. She also use knowledge functions and self-expressive functions and ego defensive functions. And later, I would share to you kung paano doon, saan ba yun? Saan ba lumalabas yon yung mga functions non on the attitude. And likewise, I would ask for you to also reflect on, when do you utilize this? Kailan mo nagagamit yung mga functions of your attitudes towards the four? Like, when were you able to use it? Are you able to use it when talking to a relationship? Maybe trying to make a decision? Maybe are you at the point of making changes or taking risk? Like kanina, yung 7 o'clock na life coach corner namin ni Master Coach Jasmine talks about taking risk. And those are the things that your attitude would also be connected with on how you make a decision. So, tama. Going back, tingnan lang natin yung mga comments nila. Marlon, yun, Coach, nagpe-play na yung music sa Nickelodeon sa utak ko, sabi ni Coach Candy. Hello, Coach Candy. Kahit si Coach Tin, nagpe-play na din sa kanya. Very positive outlook ni Dora. Tama. That is so true. The attitude of Dora is always positively. Hindi mo siya nakikitang lagi siyang nakafocus lang dun sa goal niya, and yung banks niya nagbibigay ng power sa kanya, sabi ni Coach Candy. And Coach Marilyn said na ang lihim ng power ng banks ni Dora, yun yung reason. Coach Candy also shared na backpack lang yung evident, pero yung totoo, banks niya kasi ang malapad noo niya. Sa Chinese, matalino ginawa ng story. Thank you for sharing, Coach Candy. And sabi ni Coach Marlon, madami ako niyang bangs. Thank you, Dina, for joining us. Thank you for joining. And yan, madami kayong baon. Salamat. Thank you for interacting. So, moving towards the functions and the attitudes of Dora. Once you're able to reflect on that, and thank you for everyone who's writing down the comments. Just continue to writing down your comments. I mean, people would just love reading it in interaction. For tonight naman on a Friday, di ba? It's Friday night, tomorrow it's a weekend. Let's relax at a bit of time. Just chill for a little time and enjoy the learnings that you will have. So, going back, how do you specifically ask questions when you talk about the specific attitudes that we have? And if you think about this, I'll just share to you some questions that you could start asking yourself. Kung ano ba yung ginagamit mo? Are you using utilitarian, knowledge, self-expressive, ego defensive? Just to start off, light. Let's just stick it a little bit lighter today. So pag adaptive, when you talk about adaptive and utilitarian, you ask yourself, how well will it help me perform? That's the question that you would ask, because you're trying to think about positive attitudes towards a reward. And you're thinking about negative attitude towards punishment. So that's where adaptive or utilitarian is where you focus on when you utilize this function. So how well will it help me perform? A good example is if you're buying shoes for running, maybe for workout, going to the gym, how do you choose your workout equipment? Yun, specifically doon sa mga sinusuot mo. Second is knowledge. How can I gain knowledge to make the right decisions? And making the right decision means that it gives you structure, it gives you order to the world so that you know how to act on it. For example, pwede may tanong ka right now kung paano ka mag-goal setting. For example, a good example is what you will do is either you will search in Google to find the best way that will work for you on how to goal setting, or kung part ka ng coaching upskill, yung blueprint, you will find the toolkit there. If you're a certified life coach from the institute, find a toolkit there that will help you create that. So that's knowledge, if you think about that. Third is value expressing, talking about how do I express my values and worth. Like for now, how do you currently express that? Expressing yourself like, simply like wearing shirt. Like for now, I'm able to express myself using my shirt. Sorry, using my shirt, putting in certified life coach. For some, you would put in maybe a jersey that you have. Maybe you're a fan of an NBA team and what have you. Maybe you're a fan of a football team, or you may be a fan of, spiritually. Those are the things that you can start being able to express yourself. So ganun siya. Even in copy mugs that you have, you're able to put in there, something that would be able to express yourself. And last but not the least, talking about ego defensive, we talk about how will this protect me? Because ego defensive talks about avoiding negative things about yourself, how you can feel better about yourself. And that's where your attitude towards ego defensive is trying to protect how you feel about something. So iniwasan mo yung lahat ng negatibo na pwede mangyari and just focusing on how it will benefit you. Yan. So, those are the 4 questions that you can ask yourself kung ano yung attitude na ginagamit mo as far as the attitude test. Yon. Sabi ni Coach, si Nords, thank you Nords, great learning tonight po. Thank you for joining us. Ayan. And Dina, yon, sabi ni Coach Mao, Dina, thank you for joining. Ang gandang kaisipan, sabi ni Coach Candy. Thank you Dina for joining us. All right. So, moving on. Questions that you can start asking yourself if you are in an adaptive, knowledge, value expressive, or ego defensive attitude so that you can start testing it. So how can we test it? How can we test this? At bakit si Dora yung example ko? Okay, sige. Let's talk about this. Let's take a look at this. What I would want for you is to take a look at the 4 functions. I have given you the 4 functions. And think about if this specific word or sentence that I've used is using the function of utilitarian, knowledge, value expressive, or ego defensive. Okay? Sige. Kung game na kayo dyan, thumbs up lang. If you're game with this game, let's just play it. Let's see so far, by far, what you've learned. So, 4-way attitude test. The first one is, if you think about it, Dora the Explorer is associated to boots, which help her in her journey in achieving a goal. Yan. Dora is associated to boots, which helps her in her journey in achieving the goal. Ano yung ginagawa niya? Ano yung kind of value, attitude to? Is it utilitarian function? Is it a knowledge function? Is it a value expressive function? Or is it an ego defensive function? So ano kaya yung function? Type niyo din. Type it there. What kind of function is Dora using in this kind of situation? Sabi ni Coach, Tin, isipin ko nito ni Dora dahil sa question. Isipin mo si Dora. So, naiisip niyo na ba? Okay, sige. Kung ano pa, utilitarian. Nako, galing talaga. Coach Marlon, you are correct. This is a good example of utilitarian because it's association with a group. If you think about it, si backpack is also, buhay siya doon, di ba? It's also an association because Dora, boots, and backpack are able to help each other on how they can solve a problem. Yan. So that is a good example of a utilitarian function. Second, Dora uses the map to know where they are going so she can respond in a clear manner. Ulitin ko Dora uses the map to know where they are going so she can respond in a clear manner. So ano to? Is she using utilitarian, knowledge, value expressive, or ego defensive function? Ano sa tingin nyo? Yung second. Lagyan nyo ng number. Ano yung second dyan? Anong attitude yung ginagamit niya? Okay? Third, Dora says, swiper, no swiping. Naaalala nyo ba yung time na yun? Pag andun na sa point na yun, si swiper, no swiping niya. During the times when swiper is about to steal or will steal something of value to Dora. Yun, di ba? Swiper, no swiping. Swiper, no swiping. Ganun siya. Ganun yung ginagawa ni Dora the Explorer. Ayan, may mga sagot na tayo sa number 2. knowledge. Sabi ni Coach Marlon, si Coach Candy, knowledge din. Si Coach, si Nords, knowledge din. O, tama kayo. Yung number 2 talks about knowledge. Ayan. So, number 3, tingnan nyo. Ano bang ginagawa niya? Is it utilitarian function, knowledge, value expressive, or ego defensive? All right? And last but not the least, number 4, Dora is never ego defensive and always look at it on a different perspective. Ayan, nilagay ko na yung sagot niya dyan, di ba? So number 4 talks about Dora not being ego defensive. And that's where he doesn't want to be hostile with other people. And so sabi nga ni, I think that was Coach Candy talking about na very positive yung outlook ni Dora the Explorer. Number 3, by the way, thank you for those sharing yung answer nila. Number 3 is value expressing function. Being assertive kasi. Dora is being assertive towards their view or open to stand to the issue. Kasi, di ba gusto kunin ni swiper yung bagay, na sinasabihan ni Dora, no swiping, no swiping. So he's being assertive towards swiper stealing it and getting whatever of value kay Dora the Explorer. Ayun. So, thank you again for those who's posting in there. Marami po salamat. The number 4 talks about ego defensive because of the positivity and how the outlook of Dora towards the whole journey. Kung nakita mo, hindi naman nagagalit si Dora doon kay Swiper, di ba? Parang tuwan-tuwa pa siya. Swiper, no swiping! Swiper, no swiping! So may mga ganong situation pa sila. Thank you for those who's watching. Okay lang yan. This is a good practice. Sabi ni Coach Candy, mali ako ng number 3. It's okay. This is a learning process for every one of us. Kahit ako din naman na ipaisip ako, ganun pala siya. And that's how we do it. And this is a 4-way attitude test for us to really take a look at how we currently utilize our attitudes towards making decisions. And even the relationships that you have right now, even the things that you buy, the things that you do, the relationship that you have, the work that you have, those are some things that is influenced by your attitude or our attitude in case. Now, baka may na-realize ka ngayon na how do we change? Like, okay, sige, coach, alam ko na ito, nakita ko na kung ano, naiintindihan ko na yung attitude. How do we change? Well, let me share to you. Ano ba? Paano ba tayo nag-change? How do we change our attitude towards situation? Well, I'm gonna give you 2 things. There are 2 types of changes. The first one is congruent. It means that changes moves toward the same direction, either better or worse. Kumbaga, one line lang to. Either better or worse. For example, being a certified life coach means that if you want to move forward, you want to be better, you enroll in upskill, Coach A Coaching Upskill Blueprint, or you enroll in Coach A Coaching Club. That is a congruent change that moves towards you getting better. Pag incongruent ka, changes involves a change towards the other end. So, kumbaga, kung yung change mo ang dapat maging magaling kang coach, pag nagre-regress ka, that is incongruent. May mga times na minsan kine-question mo yung sarili mo na hindi naman ako magaling and so on and so forth. That is called also regression. Nagre-regress, pabalik yung mga nangyayari sa atin. So those are the 2 kinds of changes that's happening. So if you take a look at the whole life right now, how often do you change congruently? And how often do you change incongruently? Kasi doon mo nakikita kung ano yung mga changes na ginagawa natin in our lifetime. Incongruent means negative to positive or positive to negative. So, pabaliktad siya. May posting to si Master Coach A. I think it's inside Coach A coaching community na talks about upward spiral and downward spiral na minsan pag pumapakda ka, nag-negative ka. Tapos you would need to work on moving up. So, ganun po siya. Yun po yung the change of our attitude. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. Thank you for the comments. I love the comments. Thank you. I'm reading through it. And sabi ni Coach Tindora, kasi malakas panoorin ang mga bata noon. Malakas ba to o matakas? Ayun, sabi ni Coach Rod, wala kasi kami TV noong araw kaya di ko napanood si Dora. Okay, ang Coach Rod. Marami pong salamat. Thank you for joining. Sabi ni Coach Phoebe, hashtag relate. Okay, so moving on. I hope everyone is still with me on um, how we change our attitude. Okay, so moving towards thinking about, reflecting on it, putting everything together. Dora's attitude, let's take a look at Dora's attitude towards achieving her goal. Di ba, if you can remember yung nangyayari kay Dora, sa una pa lang may goal siya. And if you reflect on the totality of the show, from the start from the start of the music to the end of the music, what we can observe there as far as the attitude of Dora is Dora always states her story, goal, or agenda from the start of each episode. So doon ini-establish niya kung ano yung goal. So for the children who's watching, for the adults who's watching with the children, you know what the goal is. What yung map, pag nilatag yung map, di ba, usually 3 things na kailangan nilang puntahan yon. And that is well put in there. And Dora always gives us, the viewer, a view of the map so that we know where we're going. Di ba may mga times ng ganun, magpo-pause siya, tapos papakita niya uli yung map, o asa na ba tayo ngayon? And where are we going to move? How are we moving there? Yung usually yung goal, di ba, either hahanapin nila yung nawawala, either it got stolen, it lost, necessary na item na kailangan, something valuable in our life. Taking a look at it, ganun din naman tayo, di ba? We started looking for creating a goal that we have, either something that we've lost in the process, necessary things that we need for us to be able to grow, or something of value to us that we work on, even though sometimes it's challenging, di ba? And always, every time that he finishes the first step, nagcha-chunking nga si Dora eh. Kasi isang malaking goal of her achieving things, then china-chunk niya into 3 for you to be able to celebrate it each time. So pinapakita niya. And lastly, Dora reviews her goal and the next step throughout the story, which gives us, the viewer, a sense of how far Dora has come and how much farther she has to go. So, sineselebrate niya. The power of small wins. The power of small wins where she's able to see how everything is progressing, how things are going on, and so that she knows where she is at and how she's gonna move forward. Thinking about that, if you put all things together, this gives us a viewer a sense of adventure and movement. And thinking about it, it's common that for most of us, even me, I'm not exempted here, we focus too much on the goals. We focus too much on the goal that we forget to plan out and take a look at our progress in life. And we forget to pause towards specific goals that we do. Kaya hindi na, at times, nai-stress tayo, napapagod tayo, feeling natin hindi tayo nagmo-move, nagpo-progress, because we focus too much on the goal, but we tend to forget the process of doing it. If you can remember, Dora the Explorer, what you can appreciate there is always the between. It's never about the start and the end. The journey or the story really comes from the process of achieving whatever she needed to achieve, and the breaks that she's doing for us to understand asa na ba tayo. And those are the things that we, if you take a look at it, being in a space of just being a childlike, di ba ang ganda? Now we're able to pause towards certain intervals or times or quarters or days or weeks or maybe on the day itself to take a look at and appreciate the things that we're doing. Like one of the things that I've greatly changed when I started the coaching club is writing down a journal. I started writing down a journal, and this is my journal. And I think I started back in kailan ba ako nag-start ito? August. I started in August. I started it because I want to be able to understand where I'm at right now, what am I doing, and so on and so forth, which is what you're seeing and I'm showing here right now, the attitude of Dora towards achieving the goal. because she's able to write things down and she's able to be able to see where things are at and how are they progressing in life. And anchoring it towards the four attitude test also gives a perspective of how we make decisions, of how we do things, of how we enjoy things, and how also we avoid things, because at times we don't want to be in an uncomfortable state. And that is the reality. That is the reality of life, that at the end of the day, our brain protects us from being in an uncomfortable state, which is okay, which is totally okay. But sometimes in the process of us avoiding those things that are not pleasurable, our future, we're creating a future that's much worse than what the displeasure that we're experiencing right now. And those are the things that we need to start working on. Those are the things that we need to start focusing on. Because at the end of the day, we are the only ones who can make the change for our future. And for those parents out there, we are the only one, you are the only one that can change or create a better future for your children. It's not the government, it's not your parents, it's not your tita, your siblings, it's not the other people, and it's not the school, it's you as a parent. Because creating better future of a better future for our children is creating a better change within us, so that our children can mirror that. And in the process, you would be able to create a better future for them, and they can create a better future for your children and the next generation. And if we're able to do that, I think the world will be a better place. And it's only as simple as changing our attitude, but first being mindful of our attitude, being aware of our attitude, and how we make decisions in life as well. So let me just leave this with you. This is from Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz said, "Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you're willing to do it, but your attitude determines how well you do it." Our attitude determines how well we do it. So something to think about, right? How are we taking a look at our attitudes right now, and how are we utilizing it towards creating a better future for us, creating a better future for our children, and creating a better future for their children? And it's about time that we start being intentional towards all the things that we say, the things that we think about, and the things that we do. All right. So before I end, I would just want to read the comments. Thank you. Focus on the process of the journey, sabi ni Coach Phoebe. Hindi lang certified pa yun. Maraming salamat. Coach Marlon, at my goal review pa siya. Salamat, Dora. Yeah, we can learn a lot of things from Dora the Explorer. Sabi ni Coach Chin, yes, Dora gave us a goal by having a map of a journey and getting it without sacrificing her values. So that's so true. Going back to who you are, yun. Check out my previous talks and talks about really the values, creating the foundation of the values. And sabi ni Coach PB, be aware of your attitude. Our attitude determines how well we do it. And life journey, sabi ni Coach Rod. All right, so thank you very much for everyone. If you are interested to learn more about life coaching, I have a life coaching 101 tomorrow on October 24th, Saturday at 4 to 5:30 p.m. For those who are interested to join me, please register. May link po doon. Just check out, either message me or go to my page, Life Coach Shaun De Joya. I'll share that in my link on the last part for you to take a look at. And please register. Yung ko lang malalaman if you will join, yes or no, so that we can move forward. And do remember, be intentional. Be intentional always in everything that we say or we do. And the actions that we have. That is what self-leadership is all about. That is how I'm helping people currently to educate them about self-leadership is. Because self-leadership, once you start knowing yourself, knowing thyself, and being able to put in the inner game, having clarity on your inner game, eventually your outer game will align to it. And understanding who you are, that is where your inner game really, when you understand your inner game, your outer game would be so, so, so beautiful. But again, it's all about the process. It's all about the journey. But if you need help, just let me know. Contact me with the details that you see there. And check on my page, Coach Shaun De Joya. That is where you would see the invite for Life Coaching 101. Please I would love for you to also ask your friend to join it. It's tomorrow already, so if you they need to invest there, it's 1,000 pesos for them to be able to experience a life-changing, 1.5 hour of their life. So thank you very much for everyone. So as we end this episode, let me invite you to visit our coaching hub at Decap Coffee Republic. We're located at Pioneer Center compound along Pioneer Road, corner Bixton, and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. Just across Bayanihan Center. Ayun lang, isang tumbling lang, ando ka na. Our coaching hub is open physically from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. only, but our virtual coaching is 24 by 7, and we offer coaching services on demand at any time or day of the week, any day of the month. Just message us. Please connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 for your coaching needs. So thank you very much for everyone who's joining. Maraming salamat po for everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you next week, the same day and the same time. And love, bam, boom, love, bam, boom. Thank you.